Shalom, shalom. Hey, Lord's willing, the audio and everything is good. Just giving it a second before I get started. Hey, shalom, shalom, brother, shalom, Isaiah, shalom, brother. It gets real buffery right here, so I'm gonna just give it a second. But yeah, Lord's willing, the audio is good. Okay. Thwada, brother, Thwada for letting me know. Alright, before I get started, as always, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to our powers, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Chahakadash. I want to say Brakatah Yahweh, Brakatah Yahweh Shai, Brakatah Yahweh, and Brakatah Yahweh Shai. Alright, hey, give double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone that have taught us this truth, that are constantly and well through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai. Hey, peace, mercy, and blessings to the beloved Akim that has to stand on that straight and narrow, fighting for your crowns in these last days that we are truly living in. Even shalom to the few sisters, the Aquaps that are out there, and even shalom to the Israelite foreigners. Those that may look like the other nation, but their seed line is going back into our forefathers, Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And the brother Iraq coming back with the lesson to the Lord, willing, edifying, feed the lambs to the Lord, shall do this, edifying to the Lord's elect. All right, which is going to be a thoughts on the go. I normally do thoughts on the go. As the Lord allows me to just meditate on the scriptures, and it's been heavy on my mind that Yahweh Shai been having me meditate on the Valley of Achor, which slack you brothers, I can't really grab any precepts because I'm driving right now, but I'm just gonna paraphrase and bring them up though. Okay. So, the Valley of Achor, right? Because, we're in a time where everybody is getting ready to have to be put in a decision to make as far as whether they're going to save their life or lose their life, okay? And, Yahweh Shai, man, Satan came when, he fasted, and he tempted him, right? So he tempted him with the things of this world, the pleasures, all right? And when you think about how people are getting ready to take the mark of the beast, because majority of these people are conditioned, they're ready, and you can just see by how they're losing it over these benefits, SNAP, and losing it over, Section 8 and things of that nature. So our people are quick to sell out, right? Yahweh Shai showed us that, no matter how much Satan can come and give you the things that you desire, he said what? That every man shall live not by physical bread, but by every word that is written in the scriptures, okay? All right, which the words of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, and the fact that the Lord has a remnant reserved unto him, because the scriptures say that 7,000 men are not going to bow down the knee to Baal, meaning that the Lord has a complete number of men that Satan can't pluck out of his hand. Okay, so they're not going to compromise. They're not going to take the chip. They're not going to sell out. Okay, all right. But you can see how quick our people will lose their integrity. All right, they'll be quick to give up who they are in order to receive a temporary benefit. All right, and I was listening to what was going on with what's his name, Snoop Dogg, right? Because now he's making music for the LGBT. Snoop Dogg, time after time he's been compromising himself, putting on the dress, right? And it's all for what? It's all for money, because that's how Satan comes to you. Satan comes to you in a way that he's going to give you everything that, you don't have here. And it's to entice you in order to what? Rebel against Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai, okay? All right, and that's how Satan is getting ready to come at majority of the people, all right? So we know that the physical counterpart of Satan are these Edomites, okay? These Edomites, right? And they have the spirit of Satan on them, because Satan works with them directly, okay? All right, in the same way the spiritual demon Satan came to Yahweh Shai, okay, Esau's putting the people in a weaker state. So that way when it comes down to offering this thing, they're gonna just quickly take it. Okay? Alright, because they don't have no connection or no spirituality within them, you know. So they feel like this is the only life that they have. All right, they don't have no money, all right, and they don't have no house. They don't have no way to, you know, advance in life because they're just so used to the 9 to 5 and hustling and bustling. All right, that, you know, anything to make their situation better is what they're going to rely on. Okay, you know, and that's why the scriptures tell us that, you know, we have to fixate our mind on Yahweh Shai. I believe that's Psalms 139. I want to say it's Psalms either 139 or 132. It's like maybe around verse 6 or 7. But the scriptures tell you that we have to fixate our minds. All right, when you have your mind fixed on something, you are constantly thinking about it. You're constantly meditating on it. You're encouraged to continuously trust on that. Okay, so that's how the elect is. Our mind is fixated on Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, and we know that the scriptures say that this is not our rest, right? This is not our rest. Okay, we have a kingdom being prepared. Yahweh Shai went to go to the heavenly realm, but he said before he left that he left us that comfort. He said, I go to prepare a place for us. Okay, so we know that this is not our world. So the rest of our people, they're trapped in this world. All right, and that's why they're willing to accept these crumbs, these low conditions that Esau makes it seem is just so great, you know, and it's not. All right, and you know, like I was saying, the valley of Achor. Like I said, I was meditating on the valley of Achor because when you actually go into that story about how Achan took the gold bars, he took the silver, he took the garments, right? I want to say it was the Philistines that, you know, our people were at war against him. What was, you know, for the Lord, and then to not take of the especially of the heathen's garments, you know, because see, when you put on another man's garment, right, you become like that man. You become in the spirit of that person. All right, so Esau got the world under his vibration. Okay, and Achor he had a spirit of covetousness on him. You know, he desired he desired those Philistine garments. He desired those gold bars to the point where he hit it, you know, and it started getting Israel jacked up. It started getting Israel jacked up by the Most High. Okay, all right. So, you know, it wasn't until the Most High had to tell, you know, Joshua, like, yo, you know, look, this is what's going on. This is why y'all getting afflicted like this. You know, matter of fact, go get this and make it right. Okay, so. Yep. I'm gonna grab that too. I'm gonna grab that too. What the brother got, you know. But you know, just like I said, going into the valley of Achor, right? Because see, Achor had that covetous spirit about him, you know. All right, Achor had that covetous spirit about him, man. All right, where he was getting Israel jacked up, you know. And then when they had found out that he was the cause of the problem, all right, they went and got everything that he had hidden, and the Most High told everybody, you know what, stone him, put him to death, man, put him to death, okay, all right, which, you know, like it says in the scriptures that the valley of Achor is still here today, all right, still to this very generation, all right, those stones are still in the same place where Achan got stoned, man, all right, but it's the spirit that is within Jake that makes them compromise who they are because of that lust, that covenant lust that they have. Okay, you know, all right, which like I said, you know, Snoop Dogg, all right, and many others like him, Kanye West, you know, Nick Cannon, everybody that, you know, pretty much compromise their stance. All right, but the Lord got men that's not going to compromise their stance. Okay, you know, all right, not over no FRNs, no money, you know. All right, because this money ain't worth nothing. Okay, it's getting ready to be obsolete. They just stopped producing the penny because they're saying that now it's taking 4 cents to make a penny, man. Okay, all right, 1 cent. The penny's only worth 1 cent, and it's taking 4 cents to make and put those in production. All right, so this money is getting ready to be done away with. All right, we're getting ready to enter into a new digital system. All right, so the minds of the Lord's elect is they hate their life unto death. Okay, all right, but these people see this world as the end all be all. All right, which is the reason why they're going to compromise their stance and sell their people short in order to live a little bit longer. Okay, all right. So in essence, our people have sold out to Satan. All right, which when you go into the word of to what it means to sell out, okay, it also goes into giving up your ticket. Okay, that's what a sellout does. He gives up their ticket, which the ticket represents the salvation. Okay, you know, our people lose access to their salvation because of what? Selling out. You know, which you know, earlier the Spirit had me actually meditating, thinking about how you got those of the circumcision, right? That are doing the same thing now, that are selling their people out. Okay, right? They compromise their authenticity, they compromise their integrity, they compromise their stance for what was offered to them, and what was offered to you that was so valuable to make you be like, to hell with everybody else, just so that way you can live good, you know, because that's what people sell out for. They sell out for something that they really desire, something they really want, you know. That's the main motive for a person that sells out. Okay, so you see certain examples of that going on, that is looking very fishy amongst, like, you know, IUIC. All right, you see that they're constantly mixing up the scriptures, right? IUIC teaches that Israel that die on this side, they're not going to be in the kingdom. Okay, they're going to be in hell somewhere. All right, and that was confirmed to me by somebody that is in IUIC. Okay, because he tried to bring that madness to me and actually show me a scripture of the so-called precept that goes into you know, them not being in the kingdom but burning for all eternity. Okay, so you know, IUIC don't even teach the names. Okay, but they know the names. All right, they call on Christ. Okay, then you got the Genesis. You know, the split offs from Sakari, but the head, right? They're calling themselves Genesis. You got Deacon Akah throwing up Masonic symbols in his hands. You know, he's saying that how he's going to leave the Black Hebrew Israelite community, right? He's remixing the scriptures. Okay, so there's certain signs that what sellouts do. Okay, you know, ISUPK. They told all of their congregation to go and get the jump shot. Okay, all right. So there's certain leaders that are even amongst the circumcision, right? That have sold their people out. Okay, and you know, don't be surprised later on. Don't be surprised later on when, as you know, we enter into 2026, Yahweh Shai reveals, you know, who these Judas are. Okay, all right, because see, Yahweh Shai is going to reveal who these Judas goats are, right? That have taken the bag. Okay, Esau came to them with something that they desired, they coveted after, but again, their end is going to be like Achan's. Okay, just like Achan did what he knew what was wrong, but he still did it anyways, right? These guys know that what they're doing is wrong, but they're so heavily influenced by Satan that they're still gonna compromise themselves and in your stance in order for them to live better. Okay, all right, which is you know they're going to get judged. They're going to get judged for that, man. They're going to get severely judged for that. All right. But again, the Lord only needs a small remnant. All right. And that's why he has 7,000 men. He has a complete number of men that are going to not sell out. Okay. That's going to actually, maintain their good works until the end. All right. Through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shema B'Shai, man. Okay. But don't be surprised as 2026 comes in, all hell breaking loose, and then you see, more funny business with these individuals that are in these actual groups, right? That are trying to proclaim their righteousness to the world, but then really they're nothing more than Slakia. They're nothing more than men in sheep's clothing. They're ravenous wolves, okay? Ravenous wolves, okay? That made the outer image of themselves. Hold on, let me see what happened. Slacky. Those willing, y'all can hear me. They made the outer image to seem like they were righteous, but in reality, they never were righteous, okay? False prophets as well, okay? There's going to be a lot more that Yahweh Shema Shai is going to expose amongst Israel. And he's already given certain glimpses and signs of characteristics that you can see that something's not right with these groups, okay? All right, something's not right with these groups, these leaders that are proclaiming that their heads over Israel and is right, okay? All right, and then their whole time they just been feeding and filling their own bellies, all right. The Spirit was just having me meditate on Achan. If the Lord allow, I'll probably get more into it, more deep into it, which is just a good story to read. What took place, all right, with Achan, all right, and Joshua, okay. But let me grab the brother precepts, all right. The water for putting the precepts out. This is Isaiah, Idaho. Shalom, brother. Shalom. Yabash Bakatal again. All right. Psalms 1:1. In the counsel of the let me see. Yeah, Psalms 1:1. It says, "Blessed is the man that walketh not in the counsel of the ungodly, nor standeth in the way of sinners, nor sitteth in the seat of the scornful. But his delight is in the law of the Lord, and in his law doth he meditate day and night." That's right, bro, because going back to just meditating on the precepts, meditating on the scriptures, all right. And that's the spirit that we're all supposed to be in, is having these words on our minds. When we turn the camera off, what else are we talking about? What I don't talk about football with people. I don't talk about basketball with people. I don't really talk about boxing with people, even though I like boxing. To the most part, I'm by myself. Even the Lord got my job to where I'm by myself. What I do is I focus on the word. I focus on watching the videos. I focus on reading, or listening to it. Okay, and that's part of the meditation, right? Keeping these words daily on our minds, because see, just like what the book of Eli, right? You had who was it? What was his name? Denzel Washington, right? He's got that scene where he said the people they had too much, right? More than they can ask for, and then he had told the woman, he said, well, now they're killing each other for the things that they had abundance of, all right. So what people take for granted, okay, is getting ready to harm them. But us that been actually meditating and keeping these precepts and then walking and applying them to our lives, well, it's going to be far more better for us during that time, okay, which is going to keep us strong to not what? Compromise our stance to actually even sell out, you know? All right? See, when you don't have a strong foundation and truly have faith in Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, you're gonna become corrupt, all right? And it's gonna be for what? Temporarily riches of this world. Okay? All right? So you have to have it in your mind to say, fuck this world, in a sense, you know, in a major sense. Okay? You know, and that's the spirit that you have to be in. These precepts, you know, have to run through your minds daily, you know, like how the disciples were. They were in the temple daily, you know. All right, so that's something that we can take within ourselves. That okay, you shouldn't be taking days off, you know. All right, as far as being immersed into this word. Okay, this word should be like consuming your life. Okay, you know. So the Lord gives examples of, you know, individuals when their life is not consumed around Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi, they're easily able to compromise themselves, okay, for worldly treasures, all right, which is really shit with diamonds in it. That's all the worldly. That's what the world has to offer. Shit with diamonds in it, okay. They package things up, they make it sound good, but everything here is tainted and corrupted. It's meant to destroy you. Okay, all right, and when you tap into that world, that frequency, all right, you become just like the rest of these individuals, you know. So, like I said, you know, the Lord said to Achan, do not wear the what was it? I believe the Philistines' garment, right? Because when you put their garment on, it's going to put on a vibration. So when people walk after the ways of these Edomites, they're going to be in the vibration of these Edomites. But the scriptures tell you in Isaiah, right? He said in Isaiah that how does it go? It says in Isaiah that the remnant shall no more be stayed upon him who have smoked them. All right. So who are we standing on now? We're standing on Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahawashi. That's who we're standing on. Okay. So that's our vibration. So the scriptures say what? Put ye on the spiritual garment, you know. All right. Curse is the man who walketh naked. You know, curse is the man who walketh naked. All right, because you shall see his shame. You see. All right. So you know, brothers, keep your spiritual garments on. All right. Hey, things are getting ready to get shaky. Things are getting ready to change in a major way. You know. All right. I just wanted to do a quick lesson. Lord willing, is edifying to the Lord's elect. I'm going to get out of here by giving all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahawashi, Ba'ashem, Rakah Hadash, Barakah Yahweh, Barakah Yahawashi, Barakah Yahweh, Barakah Yahawashi. With that, hey, Shalom, Shalom.